Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Speak Up podcast. And I'm back here with Joyce.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Erika, for having me on. I hope you guys enjoy the second part where we continue our conversation all about Trich. Roll the tape, Erika.
Where can people find these support groups if they're looking for it?
There are some really good, there's a website for like Americans, like in the United States, that's called the TLC Foundation.
Okay, cool.
And they run I guess everything's online now, but they do have like a directory for BFRB support groups. And then there's a Canadian one called the Canadian BFRB Foundation. They have an online support group as well. So probably the best place to look is like on Facebook and also on Instagram. Yeah, there's a lot of like Facebook groups.
Oh, interesting.
But I say, for the Facebook groups, I kind of say approach with caution, because there's, you kind of want to be in a space where you can take in other people's like struggles, and you're not always in that kind of mood. Like I'm not always in the mood to read about people's like hair loss and Trich, and you kind of have to, protect your own space for it.
Yeah.
But it is a good spot to connect with other people when you are in the mood.
In the mood to connect. And then if you're not in the mood to connect, would you say searching out for one-on-one with a therapist or some?
Maybe like connecting with somebody who also has like a BFRB. So Instagram is really good for that, for like hair loss groups and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's awesome that because for me, if I had Trich, I think I would just Google something. But knowing that social media is a really good place to start, and that it's even an option now is really awesome,
it is,
right?
I mean, when I was like originally, in like high school, looking at what Trich was, it's like it's a barren wasteland out there. I think there was like one main girl who like had a YouTube channel about her Trich. She was kind of like the go-to, but now it's like so many different people, and like different types of people is like a big thing. Like another thing that kind of pushed me was that I barely saw any or very rarely saw any Asian people talking about mental health. And I knew that Asian people still like need mental health support.
For sure,
and for some reason in like the Trich community, it's very Caucasian, mostly Caucasian, young, female, and that's not something I really connected with. So I thought, well, I am literally like doing this, so I could be like the person that I'm looking for.
You're creating that representation that the community needs. Oh, I guess I never really thought about that.
I think I always
crazy.
Say, like I think like it's an Olympic sport. Like I'm like those philosophers back then. I just sit around and think.
But it's true, like being able to connect with someone that looks like you because you're experiencing the same thing could be really hard. But
it's really cool because it usually ends up connecting to like other things that you don't expect. So like your family relationships, your like parents, and your like upbringing ends up like overlapping at least a little bit, that you don't have to like fully explain to like a Caucasian person, for example.
That makes sense.
That's been something like pretty important for me too.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, Joyce, have you experienced negative situations in public when dealing with Trich? Have you ever encountered anything like that? If you don't mind me asking.
I haven't since I was pretty young. And I don't know if it's because like I don't put myself, or I don't like find myself in those situations anymore. So, for example, when I was a kid, the last time I ever went to a hairdresser was like over 10 years ago. Because I had like the hairdresser like pointed out, not even to me, but he pointed out to my parents that like I was like so much of my hair. And that was something that just like stuck with me. So I was like, well, I'll just never go to a hair salon ever again.
Yeah, it traumatized you. It traumatized you.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like, you know, you a lot of the times you don't remember anything from your childhood, but then those random things stick. But that was like the extent of it. I think for the most part, I'm pretty like quote unquote passing as like just a person with like thinner hair and just likes to cut her hair short. You know, like you said, you didn't even notice, right? Ooh,
yeah, I didn't.
Because like from your eyes, you don't notice anything, but in my eyes, I was like, oh my god! In university, my hair was like a wreck. It's like so crazy how there's like two sides to it.
Yeah. I think also when you're in elementary school, kids are just so blunt and mean. Yeah, they're savages, and they just, I think maybe it could be a part of like lacking knowledge and lacking
like
self-awareness.
Social skills.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like I don't know what it is, but like they just say whatever and do whatever without thinking of the other person, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my god. Well, for the most part, like most people have their bad experiences in like elementary school and high school.
Yes.
But I feel like I don't know if it's because I was just never concerned about like being quote unquote like popular or something. And I've kind of had the same friends since for a very long time. Maybe like that's part of it. But I do consider myself like pretty lucky that I don't get like approached on the street by like people asking me if I like have cancer, which is a real thing that happens to other people. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
They'll always think it's like alopecia, which is your hair like falling out involuntarily. So I don't know. And maybe there's just like no nosy people where we live.
Yeah.
People just mind their business.
Yeah, the people that you've interacted with, I guess. Yeah.
And probably the extent of it is like, extended family, because they're always wanting to roast you for whatever.
Yeah.
I'll always just pass it off as like, oh, I just got like a bad haircut. But ask me about my like school and my life goals instead, please.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's like I'd rather take that.
I feel like when people go to family gatherings, they're like, oh, you get that question, oh, so what are you going to do with that? Or like what's next for you in school or whatever, right?
Like I'd rather answer that than have someone ask me about my hair. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's great. That's a interesting perspective.
That's how much I like want to avoid it. But I think like over the years it's like kind of passed along, and I like to think I'm at the stage where people aren't like asking weirdly intrusive questions. But in the case that like it does happen, I do kind of have my secret plan.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's like I think like I fantasize of this like thing working, but I don't know if it actually will. But if someone were to ask me about my hair in like a weird intrusive way, I would just tell them I like have hair loss, and like I feel like that's enough for them to know. You know, I that's kind of a thing that not every like you don't have to share what you're going through in order to like heal. I feel like I just said the opposite of that earlier. But you don't have to share with like random people like at the bus stop. That like are being weird with you.
That's
like
true.
You can just tell them to like peace out. But I feel like that is explanatory enough now.
That you get to choose who to share.
You get to choose who to share, what you share, you know, what extent you share. For some people, just telling people that they have alopecia is easier than having to explain what Trich is. And, you know, that's cool. Like, as long as you know what works for you, like, just keep going at it. Like, everyone's dealing.
Yeah, I think you sharing that to someone else that, it's just hair loss, because some people don't know what alopecia is too. I think I just learned it last year in November.
Right?
Yeah. So, no, I agree. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think people are just like, they like understand that hair loss is like not great.
Yeah.
Like people get that, and that's like they know. Because if you say that like there's a few different paths. There's like the hair loss thing, and then you could tell people, well, I pull out my own hair. Yeah. They might not understand. They'll be like, well, why would you do that? Like,
exactly.
Just like don't do it then. Yeah. And then you get into the whole like rabbit hole, and that's like just emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's important to have like a little escape pod of conversation.
Yeah.
Your conversation escape pod.
Yeah. People who are experiencing hair loss, like it could be genetic as well, and like their hair is just thinning because that's how their parents' hair thinned or something.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Like so many different reasons, and I think people get it enough that okay, I will not ask any further questions.
Mm-hmm. I have
it's like uncomfortable.
Yeah. I had a boss who always was concerned about her hair loss and how it's thinning and everything. And then she would compare her hair to my hair. I was like, wow, your hair's so thick. Like, I wish mine was like that. And then they would always find different like vitamins to eat and different like products to use on their hair. So I think a lot of people can relate that their hair is something that they're really self-conscious about.
Yeah, it's totally. You're kind of like just told over and over like how important it is to have long, voluminous, every adjective like hair, that when you don't have that, whether it's like sudden or gradual, it is like a lot to deal with. The whole vitamins thing is like a whole separate like situation.
Yeah.
I feel like. But yeah. So out of like all the things that I've tried, do we have like time for this? You can edit this out if you want.
No, it's okay. Good? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like out of all the things that I've like tried to either conceal my loss or like reverse my hair loss or do like some witchcraft, black magic for my hair loss, like there's stuff out there that exists to like that's being sold to quote unquote reverse hair loss is like insanity to me. But honestly, just like wearing wigs has been the most helpful thing I found.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because it's like instant results.
Yeah.
When you put it on, you have hair, like amazing. It protects my natural hair, which is like something that's important to me. And you can take it off when you're like uncomfortable and don't want to have it on anymore. Because I actually tried extensions like in university. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried like semi-permanent extensions, and because I thought, oh well, if my hair is like long and like I spend a lot of money on it, I'll trick myself into taking better care of it and to stop pulling it. Basically, that was my game plan.
Yeah.
Idea did not pan out. We did not like. Surprise, surprise, it's not just how the hair looks, like I said.
Yeah.
I had to learn that, like, with a lot of money on the line. So if I could just tell people for free, I will. So they don't have to do that.
Because wigs are also expensive, too.
Wigs are expensive.
Yeah.
But they're a lot easier to take care of than extensions that you can't remove from your hair.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's the kind that, like... Yeah, they're called like keratin extensions, I think.
Okay, yeah. So are they woven into your hair?
They weren't woven exactly, but there's like a little bead that like holds it up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And so, that was really bad for my hair.
Yeah.
Should not have done that. But, I don't think I would have learned that lesson without going through that. I like to think I could, but I don't think I could.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a learning experience for.
Yeah, and like different things work for different people. Like I know some people that wear wigs and they still like pull on their hair. Like I wear wigs, I still pull on my hair. That's a big thing in the like Trich community is this concept of like being pull free, which I think is like kind of self-explanatory. Like it's like you're quitting smoking.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, I'll never smoke again.
I'll never
pull. Turkey, basically.
Yeah,
I'll never pull. Starting today, I'm never going to pull again. And then you don't for a couple days, usually.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time, you relapse, I think is the word.
Yes.
You can, relapse pretty hard. So that was kind of like the main strategy of like dealing with Trich kind of a few years ago, when there wasn't as much, like there weren't as many people talking about it. Like this idea of like pull-free challenges, pull-free like streaks. Oh my god.
But sorry, Joyce, but with those streaks, I mean, it's kind of like I'm not sure if you're Catholic or not, but when you do Lent,
yes,
and you give up something for 30 days, and I feel like you just binge it right after. Like, or it's like, okay, I'm gonna give up chocolate, and then once those days are over, I'm like, nom, like I'm eating all this.
You're like
chocolate.
in line at Krispy Kreme.
Exactly. Like. So, do you think that actually helps, or
no? It didn't help me at all.
Counterintuitive kind of thing.
You saw right through it, Erika. Like you already know where this is heading. Yeah, it was.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because I just thought that, oh well. I'll just take everyone's advice of just stop.
Yeah.
And without realizing that, well, this is like a mental pattern that I've been reinforcing for like years and years. It's not so like simple. So you'll kind of feel good for those couple days, for your 40 days, for example, for Lent.
Yeah.
40 days, 40 nights. And then, but like you said, once you break the streak, you feel like, I feel like you almost feel worse than if you had just pulled a little bit for all the 40 days.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's kind of like what I felt for myself. So that's why I'm not so like, oh, I'm like cured of trichotillomania because I don't pull anymore. It's like, the reality is I still pull every day. I still have like spots on my hair that I don't know if they're gonna like grow back, but it's also fine. Like I don't need that hair.
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing past the hair portion. Trich is a lot more than just like the hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Acceptance is a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you for sharing and educating us about Trich, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, and I think it will really help people. Even if, like I have a friend who's experiencing Trich, I hope I can help them in some way. Hope I can be there for you and help you in, I don't know, in some way that I can.
I guess, because I think a lot of people that will listen to this, like, it's more likely that they don't have Trich.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing is just like, talk to your friends, like actually talk to them about how they're doing. Make them feel safe for them to talk to you, and then feel safe talking to them too, because it's like it should be a two-way street, whether it's Trich or for any other mental illness. Because one of the main things when I started being really open about my mental health, it kind of raised the flag for other people that, oh well, if she's talking about her mental health to like the internet, I feel good talking to her about it, because she like will be understanding. So I think if more people kind of like practice that in little ways in their little friend groups and their group chat, I think that would make like such a huge difference in everybody's life. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, even when I would voice little snippets here on Insta story or something about mental health, I think it really helped other people open up to me, even though I've never talked to them personally. And
some people just need the little push.
Exactly. Yeah, and that it's okay to be who you are. Yeah, and it's okay to think those things and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have any social media that you'd want to share with us?
I do. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram mostly. My Instagram is pull yo self together, as in yourself with no you. I couldn't get that one. Just pull yo self together on Instagram. And yeah, from there you can like read my posts or link to any like articles I've written, and message me if trichotillomania or any BFRBs is something you're going through, or someone with it, or you just want to like send me a good old cat meme. I am open for all.
Awesome. I'll send you a cat meme right after this.
Please do. Please send me your favorite Vine. That's usually what I tell people.
Oh my
Everyone
God,
has a favorite Vine. Everyone has one. I just want to see it.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you for having me on here, Erika.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.